our side lying leg lifts, we're gonna start lying down on our side. And you can either prop your head up on your hand or rest it on your big meaty bicep, whatever is more comfortable for your neck. For our legs, we can have both legs extended and straight. Want both of our hips stacked on top of each other. If this feels kind of funky to balance, you can absolutely bend the bottom knee here. If you're bending that bottom knee, make sure it's pointing towards the bottom of your mat and the front of your hips are flat, and you're not bending it towards the front of your body and piking your hips. That's gonna slightly change the muscles that we're working in this exercise. So with both of our thighs straight out below us, our working leg is gonna be this top leg. I'm gonna start to rotate that thigh towards the ceiling. For any of you who do dance, this is our turnout position. Keeping that leg as straight as I can, I'm gonna lift it up as high as I can, trying to kick my toes towards my face, lower it down with control. This should be feeling like a squeeze through our quads, maybe a little bit through our hip flexors, the muscles in the front of our hips. You might also feel a little bit in your glutes. The glutes are what's keeping our leg turned out and keeping it from drifting it towards the front of our body. If you're someone with a bit stiffer hips and you can't quite get that leg near 90, go ahead, bend that knee until you can get your foot to about 90 degrees in the air. Lower on down. Aim for 8 to 12 leg lifts here, making sure that your hip bones stay pointing forwards the whole time and that thigh is rotated towards your shoulder. So the two things that can often go wrong, number one, sometimes our hips start to fall backwards and this turns into a back lying leg lift, which is not a bad exercise. I do those a lot, but we want to keep it intentional about what range of motion that we're working on. This is working on our external hip rotation, technically a little bit abduction and flexion at the same time. So we want to keep our hip bones square in the same spot. And we also want to make sure that thigh is rotated towards the ceiling. If that thigh stays forwards, there's going to be a physical bony limit of how high we can lift that leg before the outside of our thigh bone kind of gets jammed into our hip socket. We can't lift that leg anymore. This is really uncomfortable. But if that leg is rotated thigh towards the ceiling, we've got more space in our hip joint to move.
If you want to learn more stretches like this, you should totally check out the Flexopedia on my website. It's a free online library of stretches with detailed how-tos for both passive stretches and active stretches organized by muscle group. You can access the Flexopedia by going to dannywinksflexibility.com/Flexopedia or simply click the link in this video description.